The early bird gets the worm. Jack of all trades, master of none. Rome wasn't built in a day. A few classic sayings you've all heard before, but I bet you never knew they all have a little secret. And I'm gonna let you in on it. So if you're someone looking to annoy your friends with some bullshit facts, or you just want to learn about something completely pointless in the grand scheme of things, you've come to the right place. This is a bit of this and that on 6 classic sayings I bet you didn't know the full meaning of. A jack of all trades, master of none. You'll typically hear this said by the same people that never seem to have any hobbies or ever put themselves in uncomfortable situations. Maybe they've only got 8 or 9 sayings in their back pocket that they like to throw out at any given opportunity. Maybe it's because they feel threatened by someone who's half their age with double the life experience. Either way, if you've been on the receiving end of this and felt like an idiot, you're in luck, because here's the full saying. A jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one. Use this as a retort, and if there's someone that's dedicated their entire life to working only one job, only to be consistently passed over for promotions and raises by their boss, drop this bombshell and hopefully decimate their entire perception of life. So, because of the potential for absolute destruction upon a person's psyche that probably doesn't really deserve it, this is going to be fitting nicely at the number 2 spot of my 6-spot list. Great minds think alike. Now this is a good one. Are you ever sitting around with your mates, bored as hell, not knowing what to do, and suddenly someone suggests you all go out to grab some drinks and hit the town? Your eyes light up and you say, "Mate, I was just thinking that." And he says, "Great minds think alike." It's a great feeling. You get to pat each other on the back about how you're all so smart and better than everyone else and how you're always so in sync. It really is good stuff. That is until I come along to let you know that there's a little bit more to the saying, and it ends up making both you and your friend look like less than geniuses. Great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. Meaning that if you and your mate are always thinking the same thing, it's more likely than not that you're going to be fitting in the fools category. If this level of introspection is hitting a little too hard, just ignore it, and instead use it against a couple of strangers that you don't know to make yourself feel temporarily better and ignore your own inadequacies. Were you thinking this is a good spot for number 3? Wow, me too. Rome wasn't built in a day. Either said by people that care about you to make you feel better about not yet achieving your major goals, or by dodgy contractors who are taking way too long to build that porch you've been asking for. Either way, it's suggesting that anything big isn't going to get done quickly, so stop stressing and calm the f*** down. And really, that's true. Now, with the previous 2 examples, the lesser known second half of the saying completely changes the intent of the first half. However, not in this case. With this one, it's actually pretty inspiring. Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. Love it. Whether it's something as large as an entire empire with world-class infrastructure, or something with a little less scale and it being a personal dream of yours, you can't really expect to build anything great if you aren't hammering away at it every day and putting the energy into making it happen. And because of the inspiring message, this one's making it to number 4 on the list. Curiosity killed the cat. For some reason, I automatically picture an old Italian grandma telling her grandchildren to stop playing near the basement or go too far into the woods and using this saying to get her point across. Point being that if these kids keep investigating the world around them, eventually they'll find something unexpected and probably pay the price. Well, this can also be a pretty effective threat. Let's imagine you're the owner of one of the world's largest hedge funds and you've taken a liking to illegally create fake shares to short a company into the ground while stealing billions from everyday working people. If some pesky independent auditor comes in and tries to snoop around and they aren't accepting your bribe money, you can just mutter, "Curiosity killed the cat," and he'll pick up what you're putting down. But, like with the others, there's a second half. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Which I guess is essentially saying that even though there might be risks associated with curiosity, what you find might be worth it. To be honest, I'm really not too convinced on this one. It's kind of saying to us, "Ooh, you're gonna die if you look into this," but then again, it might actually be pretty cool, so go for it. I'm not sure. Whatever, this gets a spot at number 5. Hey, quick one. If you've heard of a saying that isn't mentioned on this list, I'd love to hear about it. Put it in a comment below, and if I like it, you'll get a shout out in the next one. Blood is thicker than water. Really trying to drive home the point that loyalty from your family and relatives are the strongest and most important ones, which I think to an extent is true. If you're running an international drug trafficking crew, you should probably be hiring direct family members to help with running your operation, rather than some outsider who you can't fully trust. Though, if you aren't running an international drug trafficking crew, this saying really doesn't account for the fact that sometimes your family sucks, and your mum preferred to go out clubbing on weekends and plop you in front of the TV with a microwavable meal, or your older brother who liked to steal your toys and bully you to impress his friends. That's where the actual saying comes in to save the day. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. See what just happened here? Both sayings essentially sound the same, but mean the complete opposite. All these years of Chinese whispers has made us all assume that our families were the most important thing. But really, it's those you rode into battle with, your mates who fought by your side, that you'll create lifelong bonds with, not the people you happen to share the same genetic code with. As cool as this saying actually is now that I say it out loud, I'm still giving it the number 6 spot, solely because it chose not to fit in the format of my video with its hidden second half, which really was just more of a misunderstanding. Alright team, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's the number 1 spot. The early bird gets the worm. An awesome saying about being rewarded for taking the initiative and flying in head first to get what you want. A lesson better suited for us more passive people that have let other, more assertive people constantly get ahead. But the second half throws in a bit of a conundrum for us. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Oof. How are we supposed to take that? Is it trying to tell us to let our friends go first to see if they get slaughtered by a booby trap so we can reap the rewards? Or is it trying to tell us to be cautious of what lies ahead? Either way, I don't really care. I just love this saying because it's so damn popular and almost no one knows the bit about the psychotic mouse friend. And for that reason alone, it gets our number 1 spot on the list. And there you have it. This has been a bit of this and that on 6 classic sayings that I bet you didn't know the full meaning of. This is also my first ever YouTube video, which means that if you're watching this soon after it's released, you might end up being one of the OG supporters of the channel. So subscribe if you like what you saw. You never know. If I ever make it big, I'll be sure to take care of the boys and girls who had me at the start. Cheers.
Oh my god. Look at her face. What did they even write there? Locus is stupid. And she'll ruin to prom.